Hello, I am Marisha, and welcome to my creative diary. I hope you're having the most amazing day. Have you ever been in the middle of creating a project that didn't turn out the way you hoped, and you thought, I quit? Well, I did, so let's go ahead and get started. To begin, I'm going to bring in scrapbook.com's snowflake die set, and I'm going to die cut a few snowflakes from white cardstock. I'm then going to place the die cuts in my sorting tray and place it to the side, and then I'm going to head on over to my Misty. Next, I'm going to bring in scrapbook.com's bold letter stamp set. These stamps are separate, so you have the A through K in one set, and this one is the W through Z. I am going to select the J and the Y stamp. I am going to position it on this cardstock, which is 4¼ by 5½ inches. I'm going to ink up my stamp and stamp it several times just to ensure I have a good impression. Next, I'm going to bring back in the snowflakes and I'm going to position them at random on this panel. Once I'm happy with the placement, I am going to use adhesive tape to adhere the snowflakes to the panel. I was going to use glue, but I decided not to because I am going to use a stitch border die on this panel, and I wanted to make sure that the adhesive was dry. So that is an option. You can adhere liquid adhesive, but just make sure it's dry if you decide to cut this panel down to size. Once I'm done trimming off the excess snowflakes, I'm going to bring in Distress Oxides, Picked Raspberry, and Broken China. I'm going to use my blending brush to apply the oxides to the panel. I am very heavy-handed with the application of oxides to my panels. I do this because for me, it gives a good blend. I'm now going to bring in Picked Raspberry and I'm going to heavily saturate this brush. Why? Because once I apply Picked Raspberry and I mix the color with Broken China, some of Broken China will be on my blending brush, and I do not want to contaminate my ink pad. I am going to toggle back and forth between the two blending brushes just to ensure I have a good blend. Once I'm done applying the oxides, I'm going to spritz the panel with some water along with my workstation so I can clean it up. Then I'm going to bring in a paper towel and soak up the excess water. And then I'm going to head back over to my Misty. This next step is optional. I never removed the stamps from the door of my Misty because I wanted to stamp the panel again. That way I can see the J and the Y clearly through the snowflakes. Once I'm done stamping the J and the Y on the panel, I'm then going to bring in my heat tool and apply some heat to the panel. This is just to ensure that the panel is completely dry. To trim the panel down to size, I'm going to bring in this stitched rectangle die from Lawn Fawn and I'm going to run it through the die cutting machine. Then I changed my mind. I looked at the panel and I thought, no, I think I need to add the O because initially I was going to add snowflakes to the center to kind of resemble the O, and then I looked at the panel and I thought, oh no, I need to apply the O to the joy. I need to put the O in the joy. So here's what happened. I inked up the stamp and I stamped it a few times, and as you see, the stamp was not going through. So guess what I did? I brought in my Copic marker and just filled in the area that did not stamp. Once I'm done filling in the negative stamp space, I'm going to adhere the panel to an iridescent metallic matte. And then from there, I'm going to apply a few iridescent snowflakes to the panel. Then from there, I'm going to apply the card front to my card base, which is an A2 side folded card. And then stay tuned for the completed card. For the second card, I'm going to ink the completed joy on a vertical A2 card panel. Then from there, I'm going to bring in some Cloud Whip along with scrapbook.com's snowflake stencil. Now, this is the card that I ended up walking away from. I had to quit. I had to hang it up, come back, and try again later. So as you see, I applied the Cloud Whip to the stencil. I then removed the stencil, and then right before my eyes, the snowflakes that were on the Joy stamp turned green. So for some reason, I thought, oh, let me grab this distressed glitter clear rock candy and add some to this panel and it'll be okay. Oh, Lord. Friend, the snowflakes were getting darker by the second. I was like, what in the world? So guess what I did? I just put the panel down and I said, you know what? I quit. I will come back and try this again later. So after a couple of days and a little bit of deliberation, I decided to bring in Distressed Oxides, Twisted Citron, and Salty Ocean and apply these two colors to the panel. I'm glad this project happened the way it did. I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And I say that because with this situation, sometimes we'll start working on our projects. We get frustrated when they don't turn out how we think they ought to or they should. And we feel like just giving up, throwing in the towel. But I encourage you not to. I encourage you just to walk away, take some time off from your project, and then come back and try again. I know for me personally, when I deal with projects like this and I hit that bump in the road, I just set it aside. I am not going to allow anything to take me out of my peace of mind because for me, creating is an atmosphere that I love to be in. It's my happy place. So I refuse to allow frustration or aggravation come into my atmosphere. It's just paper, it's just glue, it's just whatever I'm working with. Just like the first card, I'm going to use the stitch frame die to die cut the panel. I'm then going to adhere the panel to the iridescent metallic matte. And then from there, I'm going to adhere my card front to my card base, which is an A2 standard size top folding card base. I'm then going to adhere some pearl embellishments to the center of each snowflake, making this card complete. Let's take a look back at the first card created. And I added a few embellishments to the center of each snowflake on that card as well. And here is the second card. All in all, I'm happy with how the second card turned out. I was actually planning on using a different color oxide blend, but as I mentioned earlier, everything happens for a reason. Thank you for joining me on today. I appreciate you as always for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button and the notification bell. And don't forget to check out my blog at thediaryofbellerose.com. I'm sending you love and a whole lot of hugs. Until the next crafty project, please take care.